Hello? Hello, Pluto. How you doing? Just doing a Facebook Live video. How are we doing? And I thought this colour wig would look good today. It's my Sunday wig. It's not. I just felt like it. And the cat wants to get in on action. Oh. Hello, Pluto. Hello. Hello. How you doing? Hey? Good. I'm glad we like it. Anyway. This is the first video of 2020 that isn't the festive kind. And I'm walking around my house and I'm busy just closing the curtains. It's dusk and cloudy. You know, favourite weather, rainy. It's cold though. I don't like cold rain. I like warm rain. But it is winter here in the UK. And it is 6:05 in the evening. So how are we all doing? And today I'm talking about my blog. So who we got? Chris Hall. Hello, Chris. How you doing? And please love the blog. Show me some love on my blog. And let's talk about different articles on my blog and various things like that. Now, just taking this off the stick. And sorry if it's a bit all over the place, because I usually have a stand of some sort, but I couldn't. So I will wave at you, and I'll wave at you. Sean Joseph Butler, how you doing? Now, if I can do this without messing up the video, we'll be good. Anyway, if we go over to the blog, the link is in the description. You will find articles on my books, cooking, my interests, lifestyle, and one of my interests is science, because I have sensory processing disorder, which is part of autism. And this is what I was focusing on last year. I was having big battles with myself last year, as well as a personal crisis of breakdown due to that. However, I have got down to writing, which is great. And over on my blog, you'll also find cooking recipes. These recipes are just ideas, they're just for inspiration, and also I'm going for the sensory thing, because 2020 is all about sensory. It's equality, Aquila, Age of Aquarius, hippy dippy, mumbo jumbo to some. However, I go for the quantum mechanic kind of feel to it, if you care to have a look. And Terry Norton, you look very pleasant. Say thank you very much, darling. And Michael Caffino, hello. How are we doing? And in the comments, I hope you can tell me what you're reading on a Sunday. What are your favourite genres to read? Because even though I started out in horror, and it is now what March the 1st, so Women in Horror Month has ended, and therefore it is a new theme of the month. So I'm going for a fantasy theme of the month, to my videos, to my posts, to my blog, and to my books. So last month I promoted The Curse of Mary and All Legends, The Chronicles of B.N.I. Zisti, and they're horror for adults. No young viewers, please. And Terry Norton, Hippy Dippy, Age of Aquila, the 60s. It's a constellations. It's about finding your partner, your soulmate, that you're supposed to have 20/20 vision, with them and yourself, and that goes for all your senses, not just vision. It goes for your hearing, it goes for your taste, touch, smell. And Terry, it's your birthday. Happy birthday. How old are you today? Should I not ask? So yeah, we're all supposed to find our partners, and coming from an Arcadian Greek background, I grew up hearing stories of pairings and matchings, and all very science and also of a paranormal origin as well. So I go into it on my blog quite a bit. If you look in the side column, if you're on the phone, or along the top of it, it should say my interests in science. And it's the 6th of March. I thought it was the 1st. Okay. A happy birthday. Is it the 1st of March we'll go April Fool's Day? But I will be in jail. Oh, Terry Norton. Have you been a naughty boy? Anyway, I shouldn't say that. It encourages bad viewers. Anyway. So, my goal for 2020 is about sensory perception and the mental, physical and emotional attributes of treating ourselves via our senses, such as fibre optics, aromatherapies, things like that, with a very sciencey explanation for it. So we've got Eileen Zimbalstis and Nick Osment. Nice to have you in the comments. And Terry Norton will be 43 on 6th of March. Wow. Well, happy birthday. And I hope you have a good one and stay out of jail. Has anybody posted what books they're reading? Because, as I said, I jumped ahead of myself and started talking about the end of Women in Horror Month. If you go to my fan page, my author page, and the blog post, I have a post dedicated, an article dedicated to Women in Horror Month and how I started out in horror and what I used to start reading, which is Graham Masterson and Barbara Erskine and all the point horrors. And this month is about fantasy, the genre of fantasy, which is wizards, deities, demigods, and magic and mayhem. Hence the wig. Last month it was black or red. Yeah. And now it's multicolored. You like it? I hope so. Because I started doing the wigs because I decided last year to thin my hair out and get rid of the horrible discolouring from turning it blue and purple and red and whatever else. And it was wrecked. So I decided to use the wigs while I was growing my hair back. Send the links. I would try to, if you go onto my... No. If you're on my page now, we should be able to go to my fan page and Panagosi, hello, nice to have you in the comments. I did mention Arcadian Greek, by the way. And my author page, I posted it earlier, but I'll post my blog. I'll just post in the comments. I think the video has a description, but I'll post it again. It's NJ Taylor, E-N-J-A-Y. Taylor. Excuse me. My typing is not that good because I have my nails done. And when I talk about fantasy, I'm going to mention The Ancient Ones, which is a book I wrote in 2017 and is available on Amazon. You can go over to my blog and you can read more about it on there. And I hope that you enjoy the content on the blog. And I hope you enjoy the books. There you go. Terry Norton, I have posted the link to my blog on Facebook. So when you finish watching this, if you stay on and just check it out, you'll see. I'm writing a follow-up in a minute called Queen and the Druids, Druan's Tale. And that is a singular book. You don't have to read The Ancient Ones to read Druan's Tale, Queen and the Druids. But you know, just as we're getting ready, I'm writing it in a minute, so in the meantime, people could be reading The Ancient Ones. What else do I have to talk to you all about? Oh, the image. The image changes. So I talked about the wig, and I'm going for themes this year, as I mentioned, senses. So it's Fantasy Month this month, so hence the multicoloured wigs and weird and wacky. Not forgetting my roots of being Arcadian Greek and Sergi Satan's granddaughter, but I am also a horror writer, and with my actual surname as Rosalie Satan. You know, I think the red wig on my profile page is very befitting, do you not think? Terry Norton, you listen to yourself. Terry, message me a link and I'll share it and post it on my page. And I'll also post it on my author page. How's that for you? And I'll also give it a read. And it's great if people share these things, help each other out, and also I try and get reviews for each other. Because if you love a book, I think you should let the author know. I try to. So, shout outs. Paul Owen Newman. Hello. And I'll also say a shout out to House of Tortured Souls. You lot are fab. Still. And in my memories, I posted an interview I did with you a while ago. And I can't remember whether it was the interview or the article I wrote for You magazine. Another shout out to the Seduction of Horror page. Fantastic following. Who else? Oh yeah, my publishers. Christian Hearts and Black Butterfly. I love yous. Especially S.J. Davis. You are beautiful. And Terry Norton. Your pen name is Justin Kaz. That reminds me, do you play The Sims? Justin Kaz. If you don't play Sims, you won't get the reference. But I like that. So if you send me your author page and send me the link to your books, I will be happy to purchase them and share them on my pages. And what else was I going to talk about? I was going to continue talking about the sensory thing. Because I've gone for my books, I've gone for lifestyle on the blog, I've also gone for my interest in science. DC Page, hello. And also cooking. All the recipes are ideas and involve the senses of sound, taste, touch, smell, and very Japanese philosophy on that one. And there's lots of sciencey stuff about the food, and there's lots of sciencey stuff about the paranormal elements of my blog. I am a horror writer, that's my roots, and reader. But I also like fantasy, and I prefer watching fantasy and writing it. I do have my particular books of fantasy I like. And yeah, so this year is going to be a theme of senses all throughout the year. And maybe concentrating on my blog, because 2017, I was a bit burned out after the Asian one was released, and social media got a bit on top of me. And I wanted to concentrate on my blog and give people a home. I love sci-fi, absolutely love. Jen Nixon is one of my favourite sci-fi authors, and she's also my author's sister, which makes it even better. I get freebies. But I always review it, so it's not a requirement, but I always do anyway. Also working. Are you working on your book, Terry Lawson, or working on going to jail? So, what have we all been up to this weekend? I know it's probably still early in America. It's probably about dinner time roundabout in some places. But I figure it's Sunday, everyone's chilling out, or you're going to church, you come home. I'm just chilling out with the family and messing about on the phones or the laptops and getting ready for the week ahead. You're a good dude, Terry Norton. Okay. I believe you. Paul Van Dyler. Hello. Hey, S.J. Davis. My beautiful publishing mummy. I love you. I just mentioned you, by the way. I just mentioned you. Because, S.J., I know I've been away for a while, but I'm back. Queen of the Druids is coming along nicely. As I say, I've been concentrating a lot on my blog recently. Been getting a following up there. I've got my seduction and horror page section dedicated to that bit. So I'm still doing my bit for the company. I love you so much, Mama Bear. I love you too, darling. Glad I caught you. Oh, you know what? I can't wait to come home to America and give my publishing mummy a big hug. She's such a lovely person and looks after her authors, and I haven't been active for a while, and I am now and feeling better than ever. I had a little scratch earlier, but nails, darling. Look at your hair. It's a wig. I started using the wigs because it was getting such a pain doing the long hair. I cut it all, and now I'm waiting for it to grow back. But I figured, you know, I'm a fantasy author. I can get away with it, I think. And it looks good on the author page and my personal page. And I've got another scrummy darkling. I've got Rob coming in. Hello, Rob. I missed you. Oh, where have you all been? I love the nails too. I want to use wigs too. Amazon are great. They have hair pieces and wig pieces. I'm addicted, and they're nicely priced. But they're high maintenance. If you're going to use them continuously, I'd pay more. But if it's just like for these things, or just a day or a weekend, it's worth it. It's worth not bothering, and you can take it off at the end of the day, and it doesn't matter how messy your hair is when you get home. So, I am so pleased to be back doing live videos. Hello, Rob. Mwah. Can we get Paul Owen Newman and Scott Karuba and Paul Flewitt? I love you all. I love doing the shout outs. You lot are awesome, and I'm glad I've caught some of my book family that have been with me all the way through. I was celebrating Women in Horror Month, as I've mentioned earlier. I hope many of the author sisters and brothers were celebrating it as well. I had it on my blog. I do post on a regular basis. I am getting back in. I'm re-imaging, I'm rescheduling, I'm rebranding. I've got my new logo, the Nicola Jane Taylor, which is all over my blog, by Rebecca Poole at Dreams 2 Media. I love Rebecca Poole, and I love my new logo, as well as the NJ one. So, the NJ one's going to go on merchandise, and the Nicola Jane one's going to go on my books. So, I'm looking forward to the next book being published. Hopefully I can get this first draft done and sent to you, my book mummy. And we got a new one in. We got Sean James Hawkey. Hello. I can't see. Oh, there we go. It allows me to wave at you guys, and sometimes because of the nails, dark. I love it. They're sharp though, the longer than I normally have them. And Terry Norton's I'm rewriting a horrible book. I've got a rewrite coming soon. Rob Shepherd. Lovely to be in the room with two of my favourite women in horrors. Good. And Sarah, are you at home? The weather is cold and it's dreary and rainy and it looks gloomy. Perfect for horror writers everywhere. And yeah, I'm at home. And I've got my cat in the background having a watch. And I've got my TV on. I better be careful because I don't want to get into copyright. And yeah, I'm nice and cozy. That's my author spot right there, where I veg out and cover myself up with my dressing gowns while watching TV and drinking my cups of tea. So how have you been, Sarah? How is my book family? Sierra and Tono's horribly frightening. Okay, got my attention. I like horribly frightening. Sounds like my life. But life is getting better and life is getting easier. Now I've got diagnosis of Asperger's, part of autism, sensory processing disorder. And I'm managing to get myself into a routine and I'm doing aromatherapy and the light, different coloured lights. I do have posts on my blog about it. I suggest a lot of authors go to the blog and find out the science of this stuff because it really does help. I'm good, we're all good, glad you are back into things. Love your writing spot. Mwah. I think we all have a dirty writing spot. We just have to have a comfort spot where we're just mindlessly typing. Well, not mindlessly, but you know what I mean. Sweatpants, and I bought this top. So I might be fancy above, but I also have my horror. My horror school's not too far away. And a bit of glitter to marry it all together. And tell Rue, she knows what she's doing. She knows her shit. She really does. Like, coordinate, darling. Anyway. So I'm theming. So we're going from February, Women in Horror Month, to the fantasy of the Angel Ones. I hope people go and buy it. Please buy my book. I'm not going to beg. Don't forget to share Freak Peak page. Post a link in the comments, please, Rob. My sister and my son and sister are both autistic. What is your favourite tea? I'd say cranberry and nettle. But I do like Yorkshire tea. That's a favourite. Autism has a longer spectrum, and I've figured that depending on what you, it's not even a score, but it's very sensory. I find noise is a massive thing. Steve Fluid, I did say I wanted Par Fluid, but I'll take Steve Fluid. Hello to my fellow Yorkshires. I do like Yorkshire tea. I just said that. And what do you know? We get Yorkshireman in. Mention a cup of tea. Yorkshireman. Because I think all the spectrum of autism has different stresses. So mine's sound and lighting. I'm not too... Mine is touch to some degree. I don't like people in my personal space, but I manage that with a struggle. Smell, I'm very sensitive to smell, but don't get too overloaded. And taste, I like strong taste, so don't get too overloaded by that. Socialization, you know what? So social media's been a bane of my existence right after writing the Ancient Ones, because that was a long, hard book to write, and I loved every single second of it. But yeah, it got overwhelming with social media at that point, until I figured I had to manage it a bit better. So I went and read Rue Volley's like DIY. This is do it yourself. Coverall crap. Once over, you look very nice. Thank you very much. And Paul Fluid, hello. How's Paul Jeffrey? I was just mentioning you, and we need Scott Karuba, we need Camilla, and we need Paul Owen Newman, because he's awesome. He's so awesome. And I think my brother just tried putting in, but he can clear off. I can neither smell nor taste. Well, the smell part can be an asset. Taste, well, it depends on who's doing your cooking, so that's an asset. So, how we doing, Paul? Good to see you. I haven't done... Paul Jeffrey is dead. For real? You haven't retired the book, have you? He comes back to life, doesn't he? So it's not the end. But I am so glad to be back doing videos, because it's a proper video. First proper video I've done in 2020. I did my Christmas one, I did New Year's one, and this is what I'm going to set the tone for. Themes. So if you know of any themes you'd like to see on my pages, or have tried yourselves, please let me know. Because, you know, I try to have a happy medium between horror, fantasy. And another thing, I've been doing my family research. And please tell me if anybody's tried these things. Doing DNA tests, I haven't done that yet, to see where your heritage is from. Mine is Arcadia and Greek, so... No, I won't say that. So, yes. To anybody. And I was just trying to remember something I was going to say. And I was going to be rude and tell anybody who's not supposed to be listening, who may be close by, to shut up. But yeah. I found out that my family is from Arcadia. We go back to way back in time. We're part of Arcadian royalty. And my granddad is Sergi Tobias Satan. And it fits well good into being a horror author. And I'm going to read Paul Fluid's thing, if I can click on that. They're going to let me. I don't think it's going to let me. So always busy here, working hard on new stuff. I have a trilogy on the burn and Stand Alive and sequel to PJ. Come on, let's see. No, it won't let me see more, but I will read the comments afterwards. So, it's sounding busy, Paul. That trilogy sounds good. What sort of theme is it? Is it still your throw it all in? And a nice blend. And Leanne Lord Smith, hello, how are you doing? So, we have quite a good following on this video. But I'm going to go till, I've been on half an hour. So, it is a Sunday. I'm going to go on for another 15 minutes. and just let people catch up at the video. I don't know if it just starts when you jump in to where I'm at now rather than past watching. So what else have I been up to this year? I've been watching what I eat because of the sensory thing. I've been sorting out my house, spring cleaning, very Greek, and loving it. Somebody pinched my recycling bin over New Year, so I had a backlog of cardboard boxes from Amazon and various other things that needed binning. So I now have a nice shiny new recycling bin, and thank you, Rob. I will share that at the end of the video. I think recycling is important, but I like my arts and crafts, so I'm gonna start collecting things I know I can do artsy things with. I bought myself some feathers and paints to do some collages with, and I hope to be sharing them soon. Trilogy is Paul Fluid. The trilogy is an epic dark fantasy. I'm branching out a bit. Your genealogy sounds interesting. I've got something written on the blog. It's enjaytaylor .wordpress.com, where I keep on elaborating bit by bit every time I post. Every time I find out something new. I found out I come from an online of mediumship. I come from a very prestigious family. It's not all rosy. I found out my actual real name, or I remember my real name, is also called Rosalie Satan, or Rostrali, if you're Greek. And there is a long heritage of Arcadian, just good stuff. If you're into fantasy or into magic and mayhem, it's perfect, because it's like Dark Ages science and alchemy and mathematics, algebra, old physics, and I love it, because we get a lot of our history from that area. It's the epicenter of education, culture, and it looks like a very lovely place. And I haven't been since I was a baby. So I hope to indulge a bit more of my family history in time. I've been going over family tragedies a little bit, but I'm not going to dwell on that, because ongoing things and feuds and various other things. Your mother's maiden name is Rosalie, and that is cool, and she's Sicilian ancestry. Now that is something, because it's a very Grecia and Italian mesh of Mediterranean oldie worldy culture and beautiful buildings, and yeah. Paul Fluid, I read your blog post. I actually thought you'd lost it a bit until I tweeted you were doing a bit of genealogy. Yes, I am. I was, because my family's part of a prestigious heritage, there's a lot of traditional stuff that I'm trying to explore and go through. A lot of mythology and various other things that's tied in with it. And because my surname's Satan, even though it's perfect for being a horror writer, you can understand why people change their names when they're exiled. And what do you know? I might go back to Satan though, because I love that name, that surname. I'm trying to get my hands on the Satanic Bible, and I may do a lot of listening of that one, because apparently it's a hard read. So I'm looking forward to that, because every ancient family or old family, if you go back in genealogy, you should be able to find family Bibles, and they are fascinating, especially English ones and Arcadian ones, and a lot of ancient cultures around the Mediterranean would have a lot of family Bibles. Beefy, hello! Mike Dupler and Kenneth Bolt, sorry for mispronouncing your name. So yeah, I had lost it a little bit on my blog. I decided to make amends because I found out I'd married somebody at a very young age. We were separated. We actually can't stand each other. I took him off the damn thing because I couldn't be bothered with him, basically. So, enough said about that, the better. But we were married in a representation. We were a perfect pairing if we'd been able to stay together and grow up together. But we didn't. But it's perfect representation. If anyone goes and research pairings, it's exactly what I'm talking about in the science end of it. Of you have your perfect match out there, and it's your conscience. If you go and have a look and treat your conscience like a real person, because it is a real person, and start your conversation with it, I can guarantee you'll answer back if you don't freak the damn thing out. But just go easy on your conscience and don't lie to it. Be as nice as you would be greeting anybody else, and I can guarantee you'll have a friend in there that is eternal. And me and that person were supposed to have a public profile, and we were supposed to advertise this and market this in 2020. So I'm doing this without him, but I absolutely have no problem telling people about it because that's part of my heritage, it's part of my culture, it's part of my history, and it's a part of me. So Rob Shepherd, us Mediterranean folk get everywhere. My great-grandfather changed his surname to Stephenson. We suspect it was Stefano or something. Do you know something? We all have, Mediterraneans all have other names, especially when World War kicked off, and especially occupation in Cyprus, that kind of deal where people were displaced, and it was back in the 70s, and it wasn't all too great to be a foreigner and living in England or anywhere that you didn't come from, a country of origin or language, especially in England. I can't speak for other places, but back in those days where travel wasn't as easy and as regular as it is now, you know, a lot of scared people were displaced, and yeah, I can understand people changing their names to a more English sounding name, such as, well, we call ourselves Taylor, even though I think it comes from Talos. And Ryan Taylor, hello, how you doing? I wonder if you're a cousin or an uncle. I can't see you. But I like all that history of the Mediterranean. It's steeped in mythology, and I think us writers have plenty of things to research and go for. I just added centaurs into the Queen of the Druids, and my goblin and warrior queen are battling away through to the village of the damned. So I hope that sounds intriguing enough for people to go and read the ancient ones, which is advertised on my blog. And since it's 1:45, we're coming to an end. I love you lots, and it is great to see all my favourite people in there, apart from Paul Owen Newman. I will catch up with him at some other point. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a good evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you are. Enjoy your rest of your Sunday. Bye bye.